We're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Is it too early? You know those jokes you tell and you say, is it too early? Well, the Stormy Daniels hit the panhandle and Hurricane Michael Avenatti is wreaking havoc all through Georgia. Was that too early? I'm sorry. Stormy and Michael, it's Hurricane Michael is, and the serious side, really wreaked havoc on our panhandle coming up through Georgia, dumping rain. It's raining here in North Georgia. And I think at this time we have two. Now, we're not changing the subject, Josh, but I do want to put something up. Right now we have two deaths related to the hurricane that I understand. But this is funny for me. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry, kid. All right. Now, I'm going to show you two pictures. And this cracks me up because here's my opinion, all right? And we'll get into the weather in a minute, all right? And these cycles and global warming. We'll talk about that maybe at the end of the show, all right? We're going to get back to Stacey Abrams. But give me number 17, okay? Now, this is MSNBC this morning, number 17, okay? Now, what you can see is a guy grabbing another guy and trying to get him to safety. Let me explain that if it doesn't. Let's go to 18, okay? Should have went to 18. So this guy, the guy in the yellow is with MSNBC. That's the guy is with MSNBC. Hurricane Michael leaving path of destruction in Florida, all right? Now, that's the first one. This guy grabs this guy with MSNBC because he's getting ready to, go off in the ocean or something, get blown away. He probably, needs a sandwich and weighs 98 pounds, but he's got a microphone bigger than him. So the one guy in the yellow is MSNBC. Now, let's go back to 17, all right? And 17 is where the guy on the right gets this guy to a pole that he can hang on to so he doesn't get blown away. Now, one guess, Josh, who the guy is on the right that saves this little weasel guy from MSNBC. One guess. It's Jim Cantore. That's our man, Jim. Jim Cantore, a professional in the weather business, has to save the little guy, the little reporter guy from MSNBC from blowing away in the wind. Oh, I thought it was priceless. Actually, it's a video. You can see the video of Jim Cantore saving this guy because he's trying to do a report. Oh, it's hilarious. But I thought to myself, this was accurate for what I'm saying. Look, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, Fox News, all of you, CNN, that are, down there in the storm, looking for devastation to report, leave it to like the Weather Channel. Leave it to the professionals. Get out of there. I mean, we feel bad a tree fell on somebody's house, but realistically, we do not need to know that tree fell on the house. The media makes more out of this, and I know I'm getting attacked right now out there for being insensitive, and I'm not. I'm thinking let the professionals go report on the weather for us there, what is happening, and the track of the storm. And the rest of you people that are down there trying to sensationalize it, make it political, go home. And I'll explain that later. All right, well, listen, let's get to right here. Let's go to number 19. Let's just show 19. Quick reminder of Stacey Abrams and her alliances. From Barack Obama to Eric Holder. We'll talk about that. To Hillary Clinton. To Elizabeth Warren. Okay. Remember, Barack Obama's first endorsement list right on the top was Stacey Abrams. Should we do like the media, first possible black Democrat candidate for governor of Georgia? Okay, all right, and then let's go to number 22. There's Eric Holder. We'll play that video. That is exactly who is endorsing Stacey Abrams. But I want to get up to this story this morning about voter suppression. And what I want to do is is I want you to look, because I waited. I was told that I'm watching TV this morning in the background, MSNBC, and they said they were going to have Stacey Abrams on and this blockbuster story of suppressing vote. Let's go to 30, okay? Now, the subject this morning is voter suppression, all right? So they're trying to make a big deal. More than 53,000 voter registration applications are sitting on hold with Georgia Secretary of State Brian Kemp's office. Let's set it up. Brian Kemp is Secretary of State, oversees elections in Georgia, okay? But every county in Georgia has their own elections. Go through your probate judge that handles elections for your county, or a board of elections, whichever one. All right? So they have what's called, Georgia has exact match, okay? It's been upheld by the federal government. It's been upheld by the federal courts, exact match. They've tried to sue over exact match, and it's been upheld in court already, okay? Now, Marcia Appling Nuance was showing the college students. She teaches how to check online to see if their registration to vote, when she made a troubling discovery. Despite being an active Georgia voter who had cast ballots in recent election, she was no longer registered. I was kind of shocked, she said, who moved from the Atlanta suburb to another in May and believed she had successfully changed her address on the voter rolls. That's a lie. Now, I don't know. I'm alleging it's a lie. I'm alleging she's not telling the truth. I'm alleging Democrats will lie to create a story. I'm alleging, fresh in my brain, where Democrats will do whatever they have to do to blow up a story, lie, cheat, steal. I sure hope not kill. We'll get to the Hillary Clinton. That reminds me, we'll get to the Hillary Clinton story later. But I believe it's a lie right there. Because listen to this, okay? Now, would a Democrat... first of all, we know she's teaching in a college. What's the chances it's a Republican, right? And she's showing the kids. There's another chance. And maybe she knows her registration's not accurate. Just saying, just saying. I was kind of shocked, said Appleton Nuance, who moved from Atlanta suburb to another in May and believed. She didn't know for sure, believed she had successfully changed her address on the voter rolls. Did I change my address? Did I go in and change my driver's license? Did I change my address on the voter roll, not knowing that it would then signal that it did not match my driver's license, which I did not change? I'm like all the legislators. We need an investigation. We need an investigation. So she thought, now stay with me, because this is national. My God, they're doing anything to create hubbub. And then Stacey Abrams says, well, it's a hyphen in a name. No, it's not a hyphen in a name. Okay? It's not just a hyphen in a name. So one more time, be redundant. I know how mad you get, but May, that she moved, and believed she had successfully changed her address on her voter rolls. Now, if you move in the state of Georgia, I'm not going to tell you what it says. I don't want you damn liberal wackos looking me up, because you probably are already. Okay, this is my driver's license. Do not zoom in when it's black, okay? And it says where I live. And I will look at you this morning and tell you that my driver's license matches identically to my voter registration, period. Exact, keyword, exact. Not supposed to tap on the table, get mad. I gotta get one of them hanging microphones, then I can tap on the table all I want. All right, so anyhow, exact match. Now, I want to know if this professor or this teacher that's talking to these liberal brains of mush here, this liberal teacher is trying to, is actually had a driver's license identical to the voter registration. Maybe she didn't change her driver's license. But here's where it gets, She tried to register, but with about a month left before November election that will decide the governor's race and some competitive U.S. House races, appling nuance application is one of the 53,000 sitting on hold with the Georgia Secretary of State. Okay, now let's get down here. Kemp, who is a Republican candidate for governor, is in charge of elections and voter registration in Georgia. His Democrat opponent, former State Representative Stacey Abrams, and voting rights advocate group charged that Kemp is systematically using his office to suppress votes and tilt the election, and that his policies disproportionately affect black and minority voters. Now, we got to dig into this, right? I mean, in a recent television appearance on the Comedy Central, The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, Abrams called Kemp a remarkable architect of voter suppression. I want to get to one point. An analyst of the records obtained by Associated Press reveals racial disparity in progress. Racial disparity in progress. Now, wait a minute, because this is good. This is really good. Racial disparity in progress, okay? And Georgia's population is approximately 32% black. According to a U.S. Census for the black U.S. Census, but the list of voter registrations on hold with Kemp's office is 70% black. Dun, dun, dun. There we have it. Really? Really? Democrats wouldn't lie. This professor at the top, when she was talking to her heads of mush in the college campus room, all right, on the college campus, this teacher may be showing her students, you know, her voter registration and being shocked and alarmed. No, they would never set anything up like this. And they would never go to the deepest areas in Georgia, in South Georgia, that have the largest black population in the state and do handwritten voter registrations. You see, if you go online, now there'll be an argument, well, these are poor black people in Georgia and you're trying to suppress their vote. I heard a speech Monday night that that we were to do anything to make it as simple as can be for people to exercise their right to vote, and that was the intent of the Founding Fathers. All right, so I can get into that later. But my problem is they've gone to the center depths of the state in the darkest in the center of the state in the South and South Georgia to register people to vote. Okay, they register them by handwritten, and those people could go online and you would know there was an exact match. Okay, exact match immediately online. They are dirty. They lie. They cheat, they steal, and we have proof of it, okay? So let me just give you a little timeline before I grab another break here on MSNBC this morning, just to show you, not to show you I watched a TV show, but just how they lay it out and they try to control the message and try to manipulate the lies to the people that don't pay attention, okay? Now, before we get into that, during the break, we were talking about voter suppression. Okay, and we were talking about registered voters or registrations being held, and Josh shared with me, okay, Josh shared with me a time when his registration was suppressed, if you'll call it that. But he's going to explain to me, Josh, when you turned 18 and you registered to vote, why your registration was held up. The story you told me.
So I have two middle names, and when I filled out my application, I wrote them both out fully on there, but on my driver's license, there's only an initial for the second middle name. So there was a discrepancy between my government-issued ID and what I filled out, so it put a slight hold on it.
So your government issued ID and what you filled out, there was a discrepancy, right?
Yes.
And you put a hold on it. They put a hold on it,
yes,
right?
Yes, they put a hold on it until I corrected it.
But you were still able to vote.
Yes, I voted. My first election was 10 years ago in the Obama-McCain election.
Okay, but when you went to vote, is that when you found out that you weren't registered? When did you find out you actually were not registered to vote?
It was beforehand, a little bit beforehand. They sent out, I didn't get a card, so I checked in on it, and that's how I found out.
Okay, wait a minute. So when you filled out your voter registration, right? Mm-hmm. You did not receive a voter ID card or whatever, right?
Correct.
So you wanted to call and check on it?
Yes.
So you called and checked on it, and they said what?
That's when they told me that it had been held because there was a discrepancy in the information, and if I would provide my ID and the correct info, that it would get pushed through.
So when you did, so they explained very clearly what you needed to do, what the problem was with your registration, right?
Yes.
And if you cleared that up, they would take care of it, and they did, and you got to vote?
Yep, no problem.
No problem. I'm going to take a break on that. And we'll come back, and I want to go through this. We're not done, because what have I told you? You're so tired of it, you can repeat it. Don't say you can't repeat it. So goes Georgia. So goes the country. I'm telling you, you got to listen. So we're going to stay on this a little longer. We'll be back right after these messages. I'm your host, BKP. Don't leave us here at the top of the hour. I got to prepare some stuff, and we got to talk, folks, because it's election time, and there's no sleep. No sleep. Don't even think about it. I'll be back after these messages.